Who knows what evil lurks in the heart of games? The shadows know.
Follow me.
Hi, this is the Shadows Knows, back with another Let's Compare video. I've done the game Barbarian by Palace Software in my last video, so now I compare the sequel, Barbarian 2, The Dungeon of Dragons, on the Commodore Amiga, the Atari ST, and let's see how much they have to cut it down on the 8-bit systems, the Amstrad CPC and the Commodore 64.
Welcome to the Dungeon of Dragons. Choose your warrior.
I've played this game originally on the Amiga, so I'll start with this one, and I choose the warrior.
Insert disc 2.
And this disc change sequence is just epic. Okay, that's the game. It's a little different than the first Barbarian and totally get kicked in the butt by the first opponent. And yes, don't walk into the holes. And he's gonna be chicken nuggets. And yes, you have to press the space bar to go through the cave. And I'm back. Oh no. There's some other way. I'm stupid. I need that thing lying there on the floor on the right. So I have to kill the monster. Have to turn around and pick it up. And no, I'm not gonna jump over the hole. And he's going to push me into the hole. Background graphics nice and colorful. I think the sprites are okay too. This game gets pretty gory in later levels. But it also gets pretty annoying. And I think the sword on the bottom of the screen gives you a direction where you have to go. So let's see if I can find some of the later more interesting opponents. And back through the hole. Great. And again, I think it's the same hole. Ah yeah, the chainsaw guy. I wonder what drugs they were on when they designed the monster for this game. one wrong move and he punches you on the head a couple of times. Get away. Ah, that was a different hole. And yeah, the game is unfair at many places. This is one of them. And yeah, that's another. No chance. Okay, that's enough for the Amiga version. So now let's see how much they have to cut down the ST version.
Welcome to the Dungeon of Drax. Choose your warrior.
So this is the ST version. The sound sample was incredibly clear for the ST. And no funny disc change sequence on the ST. Okay, it looks pretty much the same, but it starts with a different monster. And this monster can be really nasty. Okay, again the same monster. And yeah, you can fall into holes too. What? Again the same monster? Yeah, chainsaw guy. The sound effects are a little... Oh, I hate this guy. Not that I particularly like the chainsaw guy. Come on. I'm pretty sure yeah, he can bite your head off. But it's basically the same game. Opponents are placed a little different. And this guy is as annoying as on the Amiga. It's the same game. Maybe the background is not as colorful. But it controls good, looks good, sounds good. And if you like the gameplay, it plays also good. But I don't like the gameplay, so I find it pretty annoying. Okay, it's the same game as on the Amiga with a little worse graphics and sound, but nothing serious. So let's see how they have to cut it down on the 8-bit versions. So this is Barbarian 2 on the Amstrad. Let's see how it plays. Background graphics is nicely animated. Okay, that player sprites are also nice animated. Oh, that's the wrong direction. But it feels a lot slower than the 16-bit versions. But still plays okay. And so far, as I see, all the gameplay elements are included. And you have to press enter instead of spacebar for the caves. And this guy is as annoying as in the 16-bit versions. And he kicked me again in the hole. But I think you get the idea. It's basically the same game with, of course, some worse graphics and less fancy sound effects. But it's still playable. It's one of the better games for the CPC. And yes, in the CPC version he can bite your head off too. So now let's switch to the Commodore 64 version. Okay, finally the Commodore 64 version. Graphics are very colorful for the Commodore 64. It looks really surprisingly good. I can't make that. And the timing is, I think, even harder to get than on the 16-bit versions. But it really looks surprisingly good. Sprites are very detailed and big. well animated. And I suck at this game. I really suck at this game. Sound effects are, I think, as expected. And that's the chainsaw guy, I think. So again, it's playable. It looks, of course, better on the 16-bit version, especially the Amiga. And I mainly played it for the gory effects back then. So you can slash the chicken in half. There are monsters that bite your head off. And of course that looks better on an 16-bit system than on an 8-bit system. And there are quite some funny effects in later level with later monsters. But the gameplay, I never liked it. So it's a playable game on all platforms. Of course, the 16 platforms look and sound much better. But it's okay on the 8-bit systems too. So I'm not going to play this much longer. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed this video. And thanks for watching.